Hi guys, and welcome to another Whisky Geek review. My name is Ben and today I'm sampling this Tamdhu 10-year-old. Now this is another one of those bottles which has been sat on my shelves for a long while. When I first started to really get into whiskey and build a bit of a collection, I bought quite a lot of Speysides, and Tamdhu was one of the ones that stood out to me, that really settled with me. Not only that, but when I first picked it up, I really liked this packaging. I wasn't expecting it to come in this lantern tin thing, but when it rocked up and it was glowing gold, and it just worked really well for me. Tamdhu is another one of those distilleries owned by Ian McLeod. They also own Glengoyne, which I'm a big fan of, and Rosebank, which they're bringing back to life. And they do a whole host of things like Smokehead, where it's an undisclosed Islay distillery, and a bunch of blends and all kinds of stuff. So they're big players in the whiskey world, in the Scotch world, and they have brought a lot of products to market which I'm a big fan of. So this particular bottle of Tamdhu, it's a 10-year-old age statement, so the minimum age of its constituent parts 10 years old. Unfortunately it's only bottled at 40%, but it is an age statement. It is naturally coloured, and I think it is chill filtered. I believe Ian McLeod and Tamdhu do chill filter. But again, I like this. I don't know why, it's kind of retro, it's a bit of a throwback. I like this packaging. So Tamdhu is an ex-Edrington distillery. They've got a capacity of about 4 million litres per annum. A large portion of what they produce does go towards blends, but they've got a pretty solid core range, single malt core range. They've got 12-year-old now. I've got one of those down here. A 15-year-old, a cigar malt, a batch strength, and a little spattering of special releases. One thing I have noticed, and the same can be said about Glengoyne unfortunately, is their pricing is climbing and it's becoming a little less competitive, a little less accessible. Now Tamdhu, one of their unique selling points is they exclusively use Spanish Oloroso casks to age their single malt, and from what I was reading, they lightly peat, kind of a traditional Speyside light peating of their malt. So there's whiffs of smoke and stuff in there, which I guess could speak volumes as to why I got stuck in and enjoyed it as much as I did. So I have the colour of this one down as a shade 12 Australian Muscat. It's a nice deep gold. Let's go in and explore that nose. It's a lovely thick and rich nose. This thick treacle is like caramel chocolates, apricots, dried apricots, a musty cereal oaty tone, nutmeg and vanilla pods, some ground coffee, a kind of nuttiness, and in the background quite a subtle like damp fresh cut grass. And there is an astringency to it, but it's interesting. It's kind of a mentholy astringency rather than it being pepper or solventy. It's like clearing your nostrils. It's a really nice bright and rich nose though. Let's give it a try on the palate. It's really nice, oily and sweet. Those apricots. Yes, dried apricots, but also kind of a fresh fruitiness as well. Toffee pennies, candied peels, a lovely spiced warmth. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the same intensity on the palate as it did on the nose. It does come across a little watered down at 40%. But it's not a massive problem to me. And that finish is really interesting to me. All of the warmth just kind of dissipates, it disappears. And you're left behind with all of these sweet tones are lingering on. It's not got the intensity. It's been a while since I've sat with a 40% whiskey like I am with this one, but it's sweet. It's got a nice woodiness to it. There's no bite, there's no aggression to it whatsoever. Even with the suggestion of peat, I'm struggling to find any at all. It's all very bright and light and fresh and fruity, and there's no grunge to it whatsoever. So I've rated this one a 75%. It's a shame that the palate and the finish don't fulfill what the nose was offering. because the intensity on the nose was fantastic. That's not to say that there's anything wrong necessarily, I'm just used to the higher strengths. So the palate and the finish kind of tail off. I wish that this would have been fantastic at like a 46%. I'm pretty sure the 12-year-old is a 43%, so fingers crossed that one doesn't let me down quite as much. I wanted more from it. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this whiskey review. If you have, please feed the YouTube algorithm, like, comment, subscribe, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Cheers.